It seems like you have a great working relationship with Oscar De La Hoya. How did that friendship come about? Because you guys were rivals in the ring.
About a year or two after we fought, they had the ESPYs in LA. I was nominated for Fight of the Year. And I approached the table and thanked them for giving me an opportunity to fight, the most lucrative big money man in boxing. And also it's De La Hoya. I mean, beating Trinidad was not something to sneeze at, but beating Oscar when it comes to, at that point, without partnership, without none of that, it's just a different level. Beating Trinidad, okay, Bernard Hopkins is the undisputed. We know he can fight. He got a notch up, but Oscar was a whole different. I became like, he's from LA, I'm in LA getting nominated for the ESPYs. That's when I believe I became actually a star, in boxing.
You talked about how important it is. You said this
in almost 20 years. They didn't give us 2 days to be together. A lot of people that's been around long enough say that we weren't going to last. Our partnership was going to last.
I might have been one of the people that believed that.
Yeah,
but it's.
And I commend you for being honest.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, I'm so competitive in every little big and small thing. I just want to prove through deeds and time that I'm gonna prove those people wrong.
You could tell the amount of respect Oscar has for you when he introduced you at the press conference. At the press conference, you stressed to the fighters how important it is to have your DNA in this building. What makes Madison Square Garden so important to you?
The same thing that I preached earlier is the history, the brand, and then when you look at Madison Square Garden, you think of moments where other sport athletes who shared the history of playing basketball here, soccer or whatever is done in the stadium of Madison Square Garden, is just one of those historic brand names where the DNA of history, all right? Because I don't believe in ghosts. The DNA of history that you are involved in and you're in the building. That's key. And I want to let the fighters know that. They're like, look at this as if this your last time fighting in Madison Square Garden, you better make it good.
Right.
You better make it real good.
Rocky's a big guy. What strategic plan would you give Canelo to fight Rocky?
I think Canelo has the plan already. He got great trainers. He also have one of the underrated trainer, Canelo, that I believe is going to be up the top 2, 3, maybe trainer of the year. I'd be surprised if he don't accomplish that this year. Now, but not this opponent, because he maybe ain't convinced certain people yet, but in time you will, or he will.
How much of a chance?
I would tell Canelo to break the tall target down. See, when you this tall and you here, you don't reach for the head. The body is bigger than the head. The body is bigger than the head. Kill the body, the head will come to you. That's what the old Eddie Futch, the Bowie Fishers, the Eddie Mustafa Gregory. I'm so glad I come up in the era of the Emmanuel Stewarts, who tell you to break the body down and the head will come to you. That's good.
Bernard, I remember heading into that rematch, you said Charlo needs to prove himself to get a shot at
Are you talking about the middleweight division?
Yeah, the middleweight division. And you were
just talking.
And he's the mandatory. Is that enough though to be the mandatory for? I remember you had to deal with a lot of mandatories when you were middleweight champ.
That fight, mandatory or not mandatory, is a fight that is worthy of the fans. It's the fight that's worthy to see where the next fighter is at, especially Charlo. And we know what Triple G has been for multiple years. Even with the 2 Canelo fights, he still is respected and still a threat to anybody. He's definitely not a stepping stone or a gatekeeper. So I'd like to see some mix-up in that area. And whoever prevail, not necessarily get Canelo, but you have David Lemieux, who sound confident today, who punch confident in September. The middleweight division is hot again. I'll say this again. The middleweight division is probably hotter than when I won the unification in 2001, based on the numbers of names, the numbers and the fighters that's in the division. There's 4 or 5 fighters in the division right now that we know we can have a tournament without having a tournament. Period. And you've seen 2 or more, 4 of them, or at least 2 of the top leaders on the stage today.
In a fantasy matchup,
HBO,
you in your prime against Canelo, how would that fight would have turned out?
I don't like talking about fantasy. I thought I'd be able to date Michael Janet Jackson at one time, and that didn't work out. So I'm tired of getting disappointed in fantasy because I didn't know that Reddy Raheem was trying to get the same date. He was trying to get the same date too. So to this day, Reddy Raheem has been trying to get the date just like I've been trying to get the date with Janet Jackson. So fantasy is not friends to me.
And Bernard, I just had to ask you before I let you go, man, about HBO. They closed their doors. You
respect to HBO, man.
How'd you feel about how they told your story? It felt like they told the Bernard Hopkins story so well. You know, like a kid like me fell in love with Bernard Hopkins because the way HBO told the story. What are just thoughts on HBO?
Because HBO has gave many legends, contenders, and champions the opportunity to shine on their network. And HBO is the grandfather of viewership when it comes to boxing from the past to when it ends, and this year. And to me, no one should ever try to downplay that or disrespect it, because having an opportunity to be on at that particular time the biggest network in boxing history until others do the same or more later. And it takes 30-something years, 40-something plus years, like HBO been around. You gotta pay homage. You gotta not say rest in peace, but you gotta say, well, job well done to the icon of TV when it comes to boxing programming. Icon. To me, that's better than being a legend.
And were you always happy with the way they told your story, Bernard?